Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome back to another episode of the Regional Review. My name is Enzo Amuele, the correspondent for Namibia Media Holdings in the Central North. Today is Origami Day. Please do stay tuned. That was quite an interesting video right there. Let's dive right into our news. The Minister of Education, Arts and Culture and Okakara Secondary School received infrastructure that was recently renovated. The infrastructure includes 7 classrooms, 1 administration block and 1 multi-purpose hall that was constructed at the cost of over 17 million. The handover officially took place at the school on the 5th of November 2021. These facilities renovations are part of the ministry's implementation of a 5-year agency of the Education and Training Quality Improvement Project, which started in 2018.
From the entirety of the Minister of Education, from the Executive Director, including that of the Regional Office of Ochazonjuba, Directorate of Education, Arts and Culture. I will try to give a bit of background. As the other speakers have said, I will give you just a short history of the project itself, how as a country we got the 1 billion loan from the African Development Bank and how we have utilized or how we are utilizing that money to deliver on projects such as the one that we are witnessing today. As I indicated, the government of the Republic of Namibia got a 1 billion loan from the African Development Bank to carry out some infrastructure in the country. Fortunately, the Ministry of Education or the school infrastructure or the education infrastructure was identified among such projects that were going to benefit from the loan. And that includes also the road infrastructure being carried through the Ministry of Works and the agriculture projects that is also being carried through the Ministry of Agriculture and Land Reform. It's a project that started from 28 March 2018 up to where we are today. We are still implementing. You'll hear or you'll understand that the renovation at Okakarara Secondary School started in 2020.
Indeed, the future is in great hands. That is a big investment to make sure that learners receive education in conducive environments. Let's move on to Otjiwarongo, where the mayor, Kendi Shivute, officially opened the newly paved streets of Hank Willems and Rikumbi Kandanga. Phase 1 of the project includes the realignment of Hank Willems Street to accommodate the new stormwater culvert, the construction of a concrete stormwater drift in Bolman Street, construction of calming devices, paving of 2,700 square meter distance of Rikumbi Kandanga, including a 4-way stop at Spa, as well as paving of 1,300 square meter of Hank Willems Street. The project cost 4 million and was funded by Road Fund Administration and the Town Council. This handover officially took place on the 5th of November 2021. But it's also quite a big investment as we are approaching rainy season, making sure that people do drive on comfortable roads in the region as well as the country at large. Moving on with news, the Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Pea Mushelenga, was joined by Big Ben on the COVID-19 road shows, national road shows. These shows are aimed at educating the public about COVID-19 and that we should take the vaccine as well, and the symptoms and all the things regarding COVID-19. And the road shows are going regionally in each region. It will take place in each region. And this road show in Otjiwarongo took place on the 8th of November at Mokati Stadium. Please do watch what the Minister Pea Mushelenga had to say.
Capacities. As I said, a healthy nation is a productive nation. This is what we are trying to do as a country. Government have procured medicine, and this medicine are to be rolled out free of charge to our citizens. It is not compulsory to be vaccinated. The choice is yours. But as it was said here, prevention is always better than cure. You do not want to be sorry later when things become difficult, when the pandemic strikes you very hard. You want to build your immune system at an early stage. In this venture, we are joined by a number of partners who have come on board to make contribution. Institutions like the MTC have come up with incentives of providing data bundles to the first 130 persons that are going to be vaccinated in order to encourage a healthy nation being a productive nation. We have institutions like the First National Bank of Namibia who have put on this campaign $500,000 in order to support the campaign, because it's only when you have a healthy nation that is productive that it will be able also to bank what it gets from its production. We have media houses that are supporting us in this campaign.
Please do make sure to get vaccinated and always wear your mask and adhere to all COVID-19 protocols. Moving on, the Office of the Governor in Otjiwarongo region hosted a validation review meeting with the African peer review mechanism aimed at strengthening democracy among African member states. The event took place on the 8th of November at the Monitoring Hotel School in Otjiwarongo. Please do stay tuned and see what the governor had to say.
To count our blessings, address our shortcomings, and carve the way for the Africa we want, a prosperous Africa. Allow me at this juncture to also take cognizance of the fact that this review comes at a time when our country, Namibia, and the whole globe at large is battling the novel coronavirus, which is also known as COVID-19, that caused devastating consequences in all spheres of our livelihoods and impact us differently. We have lost good lives. We have lost Namibian nationals. We have lost citizens of the world as a result of COVID-19. The prevalence of this virus altered and derailed our way of life and unleashed a wave of innovation and creativity in conducting our daily businesses and leading our lifelong going forward, which became our new normal. However, in the Otjiwarongo region, I must indicate, as we are talking of good governance architecture, the Otjiwarongo region is blessed with a good geographical area of 105,540 square kilometers. And on top of that, we have 7 constituencies that you see the councillors that are here. We have a strong governance architecture whereby you have a chairperson of the regional council, you have the constituency councillors, you have the local authorities that are having management committees, and this goes all the way down to settlement committee, CDCs, and so forth. All those are governance architectures that are aimed at promoting efficiency and effectiveness when it comes to service delivery. So the same also Osholenjupa region enjoys. The whole battalion and the good architecture that I have put in place and that I have narrated to yourselves services around 163,000 Namibian citizens. Based on the Namibian Statistics Agency estimates of 2020. As you know, the last survey was only conducted, census was only conducted in 2011. So there is a percentile focus that they put to say that the population of this country or this region would have been at this level, provided it is growing at this percentage. So ours is projected to be at 163,000. And shortly, the government of the Republic of Namibia will be commissioning the next census where the actual population will be determined. Our region's socio-economic activities are driven primarily by key three sectors: agriculture, mining, and tourism. However, the key sector that is also playing a major role is logistics, whereby we talk of anything else that have to do with the supply chain management, with the logistics part of it, local transportation and whatever have you, retail and so forth. All that are falling within the logistics part. In any governance architecture, there are a number of threats that exist, and corruption is one of them. Corruption is a dishonest conduct or behavior by those in positions of power or influence.
That was it in our news segment. Now we head over to our interview where we visited the Cheetah Foundation, where we spoke to Dr. Lori Marker, as well as the Education and Research Manager, Anaki Seya. They share with us more about the Cheetah Foundation, when it was founded, and how they are doing and what they have been up to.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Marker, and I'm the founder and executive director of the Cheetah Conservation Fund. And I founded the Cheetah Conservation Fund in 1990. But my research here in Namibia started in the middle 1970s. And it was to try to find out more about why people were at such odds or killing so many cheetahs. And in the 1980s, the farmers were killing like 800 to 900 cheetahs a year. And I needed to find out whether it was a perceived threat to their livestock or an actual threat. And so started in 1990 going door to door and working with the farmers throughout the country. And actually found that there were solutions to their problems and that the farmers didn't know that the cheetah was Africa's most endangered big cat. And as the years have gone on, we've seen the populations decline. Today, the world population for cheetahs is about 7,500 individuals only. Here in Namibia, we are called the cheetah capital of the world, with about 1,500 individuals. But with that, we really need to grow our population and stabilize it. And so really, the purpose of the Cheetah Conservation Fund is to save the cheetah for future generations. At the same time, working with the rural communities to live in harmony with the cheetah. So most of the cheetahs throughout their range are found outside of protected areas, and that's why we focus on the farming community. And we teach livestock management through a program called Future Farmers of Africa. We have young youth programs called Future Conservationists of Africa. And Anaki has been running our education programs for the last several years. As an Otjiwarongo native, it's just exciting that she is taking up that role in education. So over to Anneke. Tell us a little bit about some of our programs and how they're going.
Thank you, Laurie. Okay, my name is Anneke Siaya, and I'm the Research and Education Manager here at the Cheetah Conservation Fund. So Cheetah Conservation Fund was not new to me before I came and I joined, conservation here at the CCF. Growing up in Otjiwarongo, my church and my school would always bring us to Cheetah Conservation Fund, and I participated in the Future Conservationist of Africa program here at Cheetah Conservation Fund growing up. And that is where I got interested in conservation. I got interested in the cheetah. Young me could not understand, why, cheetahs were being killed. I didn't understand that. And it's only when I grew up a bit that I got to understand the problems that the cheetah is facing. And fast forward to a couple of years later, here I am managing the same program I participated in as a young child. And so what we do with the Future Conservationist of Africa program is try to instill, the right knowledge about cheetahs in young people, but also an appreciation for wildlife, for cheetahs, for predators, because it is this appreciation that is going to make them understand why predators are important in an ecosystem. We teach about the importance of predators in ecosystems. We visit schools. We give short presentation about cheetahs, but we also encourage them to come and visit us here at the center to put into perspective everything that we would have shared with them on our short visit to their school. At the moment, we are rounding up a program that aims to mentor young people in conservation. This program is for grade 10 learners. CCF, my colleague and I, visited schools around Namibia to promote this program, and we are engaging with young people at the moment online, with regards to conservation and cheetahs. But also with this program, we aim to show young people what careers are there in conservation. Because if you go to Otjiwarongo or anywhere in Namibia today and you ask young people, what do you want to become when you grow up? Conservationist does not make it on that list. And we want to change that. We want young people to be excited about conservation. We want young people to be actively involved in conservation because they are the future and they are going to carry conservation forward long after we are gone. And so, once we've done that part, I think then, cheetahs and conservation will be, in good hands, I must say.
Yeah. Well, after 30 years, I've seen quite an improvement. And when I first started here, the farmers basically said, we really need to know more about how the cheetah lives on the landscape. They knew really nothing about the cheetah. And that's really the basis of our research programs. Our cheetahs have been radio collared. Today they have satellite collars on, so we know what their home ranges are. These collars allow us to know when the cheetahs are getting close to different farms. We can then communicate with the farmers so that they're aware of the movement of the cheetahs. And then from that, we do a lot of work also in camera trapping. And so our research really revolves on understanding more about not only where the cheetah is, but where the other wildlife is that is within this whole ecosystem. And so our research is the basis of the work that we do on all aspects. We have a veterinary clinic that's registered. Any cheetah that is caught comes into our clinic where we do a full biomedical health checkup on it. Obviously, most of these animals, if they can be, are collared and put back out into the wild with the farming community. And those that cannot go back out into the wild end up being orphans here and staying with us for the rest of their lives. And here our cheetahs would have a lifespan of about 15 years of age, which is a very old lifespan. But we do and are the world leader in care of cheetahs and the world leader really in the research that goes on in trying to save cheetahs. But with saving cheetahs, again, it's really about working with farmers. And our Future Farmer of Africa program goes out into the communities where we do workshops with the farmers. We talk about livestock health, because oftentimes our livestock health is not good, or the nutrition of the livestock, and then those are the animals that might get caught by a predator. And so there is a relationship between good health of animals, good knowledge and management of those animals, to whether they're going to lose their animals to a predator or not. So we can live in harmony. We also have, with our One Health program in the communities, we've done vaccinations of local dogs with rabies, because rabies is something that is preventable if we can vaccinate the animals. So we work very closely not only with the Ministry of Environment and Forestry and Tourism, we also work with the Ministry of Livestock and Agriculture. But beyond that, we have part of the other aspect of our research here is our genetics laboratory. And we have a full-scale genetics lab, and we have a lot of interns that come in here to CCF from throughout Namibia, and in not only our veterinary program, our animal science program, because we are also a model farm. So we don't just say, love the predators and the wildlife and the heck with your livestock. We are livestock farmers. And we actually have a full-scale dairy. We breed our livestock. We've got goats, and we actually have dairy goats, and we make cheeses and ice creams, and we teach that aspect, which is a different livelihood. And we have many people within the communities that have started learning about how to even utilize their goats, for instance, for making milk products or cheese-type products. And we have the livestock because we also raise livestock guarding dogs. And our livestock guarding dogs are a large breed of dog, and we breed them and we give them out to the farming community. And we've been doing this program now for about 26 years, and we have over 700 dogs that have been placed with the farming community. And we find with the farmers, if they have a livestock guarding dog, that we see a reduction of livestock loss to predators from between 80 to 100%, because the dogs guard the livestock, bark loudly, and believe it or not, predators don't want to just come in and eat your livestock. They are not wanton livestock catching animals. They want an easy opportunity. And so when we're not managing our livestock properly, that's when a predator, a cheetah, a jackal, a leopard, can come and catch your livestock. And that's what we work so closely with the farming community, on helping them realize that protection of your livestock you can control, and you don't have to kill all the predators. Predators play a very important role in the ecosystem. They maintain the health, and when you have a healthy ecosystem, you have a greater sense of biodiversity. And the biodiversity on the land is what keeps us all very, very healthy. And so we study biodiversity. We also study thickened thorn bush, which is caused from overgrazing of our land. And this bush encroachment, which is throughout all of our country, is really caused a great problem to the livestock industry and reducing the amount of grazing land for our wildlife as well. And that then also puts pressure on the different predators. And so here at the Cheetah Conservation Fund, we study the habitat, and we actually have a program, which is our biomass program called Bush Block, where we selectively harvest our bush. And we are a Forest Stewardship Council certified organization, which is a global organization that supports good land management and habitat, which the biomass program is a part of. And so with that, we make a little fuel log, which is called Bush Block, which many people maybe are aware of. Very good for brine, very good for keeping you warm in the winter. But these little logs are actually chopped up thick thorn bush, which is compressed into what's called an eco-log. It burns with high heat with low emissions. And today, Namibia is one of the leaders in the world in not only wildlife conservation, but we're also very concerned about what's going on with global warming. And with that, Namibia is a country that is very affected because we are a very arid country and will continue to be that way. And this thickened thorn bush is actually a form of desertification because it's drinking up all of our underground water. And we lose about 50% of these underground water resources each year because of this problem with our thickened thorn bush. So we have other projects that we also work on. And so we have another dog program that we work on, which is our scat detection dogs. And these are dogs that are trained to go out into the field and they find cheetah scat for us, or leopard scat. And that's a big project that we're working on, not only here, but also in Angola. And it allows us to, when you get the scat, we call it black gold, we can actually look at it, find out what the cheetah has been eating through looking at the hairs. And we've got several students that are working with us on that. And then the scat goes into our genetics lab where we can extract the DNA and actually learn more about the population structure of the cheetahs that are out in the farming systems. So we do have a lot of interns that work with us from University of Namibia and Namibia University of Science and Technology. And together, we're trying to help save the cheetah for future generations.
Looking at the weather for the central north this week, temperatures for Okahanya are generally in the mid-30s with some partly cloudy days expected early next week. But it's lucky Otjiwarongo and Okakarara that are forecast to enjoy some lovely showers over the next 2 days. Moving further north, Tsumeb and Grootfontein see temperatures in the lower 30s with some cloud cover.
That was it from us here at Central North Regional Review. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you guys again next week, same time, same place, different outfit. Enjoy.